How's it going, my blocked buddies? This is Blocked Content, and we are looking at Paper Mario Color Splash because there has been a new trailer that came out, and it was coming out sneakily, but we snapped it just in time. We've been, of course, having these very cool original Toad v Squad trailers, and what is cool about these trailers is that Nintendo is actually doing an effort to market this game originally. We have, of course, this very cool TV set, kind of Super Sentai Power Rangers look at this Toad Squad. And I've always, thought this was kind of curious because Nintendo had never really, pushed a game quite like it does with Paper Mario Color Splash. So they really want the Paper Mario series to come back on top. They really want the Paper Mario series to work. I don't necessarily think that it will work that well with this game in the series, just because, I look at those dislikes on videos of Nintendo posting about Paper Mario Color Splash. I look at the comments. I know what people are thinking. I know that Nintendo is not addressing certain things that people thought was wrong with the Paper Mario series up until this point. I am here to shed a little light about the game, why I think it works, why I think there is a lot of great content to look forward to, and I just know you guys will love this game. The look of this game is amazing alone because they finally have that very cool paper aesthetic down. Now, first, I was not a big fan of everything turning into perfect, beautiful paper, but if you take this game as what it is, and it's, Mario in paper form, and it's kind of like an RPG-ish action game, well, then you actually get exactly what, the game looks like, because it looks amazing in this paper aesthetic. The textures are very good quality. There is a lot of humor. There are certain, small RPG elements like leveling up and, collecting and doing all this cool stuff in the game. But I also think that there is a lot of action. There's a lot of classic Mario platforming, but there is also very good humor. These games are always very, very funny, and the localization team is doing a great job of keeping everything fresh, up to date, funny, quippy. The quips, they continue. Welcome back to Blocked Content. We are looking at the Toad v Squad trailer, and today we have a lot of humor because we start off the trailer with, of course, the reveal of the Toad v Squad, and as we zoom in on the classic mountain that we've already seen, I just have to notice, though, this mountain that we keep seeing, this is probably from the train level. There is a train level in Paper Mario Color Splash, and it actually looks really fun. You can actually walk through the train, and on top of it as well, there are fuzzies attacking you. And I always thought that these mountains in the distance are the mountains from that level, so I think it's a neat touch that, if you play that level, maybe in the background you'll see the Toad Squad, and their signature pose with their explosions in the background. But I'm getting ahead of myself. There's no explosions yet, because I thought it was really funny that in every trailer that is not about a certain Toad, there is a certain Toad, getting, a certain little tiny mini spotlight. And in this trailer, the trailer is all about yellow. The trailer is all about the yellow Toad, of course. But in this trailer, Blue is getting the short end of the stick. Because just as they were going to do the awesome pose with the explosions, Blue doesn't really manage to get up on that hill. So he just decides, well, I'll just, drop myself and do the explosion from here. But the explosion still packs a punch, but it kind of looks asymmetrical now, right? It doesn't look as good. I think Blue, you should get on up there still, because you got to finish that pose, man. So we get the awesome logo, the Rescue V Squad, and the more I look at this logo, the more I love it, and the more I hope that it makes its way in game at some point. I don't want this to be just bound to trailers, guys. I think the game needs that personality. The game needs those changes made. I think that please just add this to the game somewhere. Maybe there's a TV in Mario's room. Maybe there's a TV in some hotel level, and maybe this is playing in the background. That would be so amazing, and that would be a cool wink to people who watch the trailers online and people who analyze the hell out of them like me. Anyway, we cut to episode 4, Super Smash. And you guys knew that I was gonna get excited about this one because in the last video I was like, man, Super Smash, that is a name of a game that I really like. And you guys, the guys that know me, my favorite game of all time is Super Smash Bros. Melee. I'm not lying, and I am not a tournament player as well. I just think that game has everything any game should ever want. that is a lot of content, a lot of replayability, a whole lot of heart, but also a whole lot of challenge if you want it, multiplayer, and a great orchestral score. So my love for Super Smash Bros. Melee is endless. There's also such a high skill ceiling that I haven't even hit close yet. But this episode is called Super Smash for different reasons, and we're going to get into that, but I think they just wanted to have that little wink of the eye and say, maybe there is Super Smash coming to the NX. Maybe, guys. I don't necessarily think they mean that, but just, having that name recognition kind of all makes this little light bulb in our heads go off and say, man, it's been a while since I've turned on Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. It kind of makes me think that maybe there is something coming. Sakurai hasn't been talking. Sakurai hasn't been doing anything. Maybe Sakurai has been doing something. Maybe Masahiro Sakurai is working on a game right now, and that game is Super Smash Bros. For the NX. Anyway, we go to the Yellow Coliseum. And I kind of rumored that the Yellow Coliseum, maybe that's like Rock Hawk's part, in Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door, but Rock Hawk was of course yellow, so I thought this would be the perfect link between those two characters, and having the whole Coliseum, Smash, the whole fight, I thought it would be a Rumble. This would be the thing. This would connect it to, the Paper Mario games that we love. That is not necessarily true. I also want to note, we already took a look at this stage in one of our previous analyses videos for Paper Mario Color Splash, so I want you guys to check out the older videos if you want to have more thoughts on stuff that is happening in this one. But this is the official Nintendo video, and there's a lot of fun stuff happening in this one, so I have to check it out, and so I will. It was posted very sneakily by Nintendo. It wasn't really pushed that much because everyone has already seen the Yellow Coliseum in different, YouTubers have been playing the game, other people have been playing the game, it's been out in different kind of footages, it was on PAX West, but Nintendo still wants the fans to see it because the video exists and it was posted. So we get a look at our good friend Yellow. Now Yellow, as you all know, is a toad. This toad wears a scarf, he looks mean, he can do an awesome flip, like all the other toads, and this is where the screen says, rescue Yellow. His belly is yellow, but he's no coward. So I like that touch because, he looks too mean and awesome to be a coward. And we know he's not because we've seen him in action in the previous videos. So we know Yellow can pack a punch. Yellow is brave and is not scared of anything. And we can see a lot more about this. What I think is really cool is that we can see a little footage from this level, and it looks like some sort of archaeology level, and one of our watchers, one of our YouTube view clicks guys has noted that, hey, maybe there's an archaeology level because these sites kind of look like archaeology, and now we actually get the confirmation that, yep, there is some sort of Jurassic Park stuff going on here. We can actually see the bones of what looks like a bird, can you see the beak? But what I actually think that it's not a bird, but it's some sort of dinosaur, It's some sort of, it kind of looks like Bowser because it does have the horns, as you can see, but it also probably has a wing, as you can see on the left. So it's sort of like a Bowser-like creature that has wings. If you know this Super Mario enemy that kind of looks like this, if you imagine his bones like that, please hit me up. Is it Dry Bowser? I don't know. It kind of looks like a dinosaur to me. If you know who this is, please contact us, Blocked Content. We want to know, and I'll apologize for saying that it looks like a bird because it doesn't look like a bird, but I have to say something. So right now, it looks like a bird. Anyway, the yellow toad comes in and says, "Hiya! Rescue Yellow on the scene!" That's very funny. There's this toad in danger. He's screaming. He's sad. So Yellow Toad goes on to say, some important thing was stolen? Yeah, this toad that is standing there and jumping is actually saying that something very important has been stolen, and Mario is tasked to find out what is happening. There's always been this talk that this game is sort of like a murder mystery, kind of like a detective thing. I don't necessarily think it will be a murder mystery though, because it's a game, but yeah, getting color from different characters means they are basically lifeless, and if you are lifeless, you are dead. So it is a murder mystery, totally, red paint and all, it's blood, confirmed today. Anyway, Yellow goes on to say, "Not on my watch, move out." So Huey pops out of Mario's back, and we get some very cool action because Mario is actually entering the Coliseum here. And what I thought was really weird, if you take a look at the world map in different footage, you'll find that this is just a level. This is just a level you click, like a normal level. It kind of feels like this should be a lot bigger, like it should be like this own hub world that you can walk around in, and it kind of looks like it too, but it is not. It's just a simple level. You complete it in like 10 minutes, maybe less. Even if you want to speedrun this thing, you'd be, through it in like 5 or like 6 minutes probably. It looks like a hub world, but it's not. And that's what I thought was really weird. But what I did like about it is that you can see on the map screens that there are actually different stars you can get in the levels. So you can't just get 1 star. Some levels actually you can get 2 stars, maybe even more. And of course that all reminds us of Super Mario 64, the most amazing game on the Nintendo 64 and one of the best games of all time, just not as good as Super Smash Bros. Melee because it's the best game of all time. So Yellow pops up and he says, "Looks like the stolen thing was brought to this Coliseum." So what is the stolen thing and why was it brought to the Coliseum? I don't know. Anyway, there's a shy guy in the background who is just talking to himself. I'm just kidding. If there are dots above a character's head, we've already found out you can actually talk to them and they are not enemies, so don't hit them. I do find it weird because these characters look the exact same like enemies you can attack. Go through the effort to actually change what they look like. If a shy guy looks like a shy guy you can attack, you don't want to talk to that guy because that's your enemy. You got to change the color. You got to change his face. You got to change things about this character that makes you think this is an NPC player. And I think it's so weird because in Sonic games, it's always extremely clear. There are robots. Oh, these guys are enemies. Oh, there are people. There's guys in suits and little girls eating lollipops. Oh, you can probably talk to these people because they're people. These are Mario enemies. Don't talk to these guys. They are your enemies, Mario. Don't give in. Anyway, you probably got to give in because they will give you clues and they'll probably help progress the story. This is Yellow Toad saying, "We'll tear this place apart until we find it." And Mario seems a lot more happy-go-lucky than that. He climbs the stairs through the hallway, and there is actually a hammer bro who throws hammers. And what I think is really cool is that if the hammer hits you, the battle starts, and he actually is at an advantage. That's really cool because there are not a lot of characters in this game that have that sort of ability, that upper hand that the hammer bro has. I've always loved the hammer bro design, by the way. It's like a Koopa, but it's like a beak, and he's like armored. He has like this cap. Man, Hammer Bros is so cool. Hammer Bro for Smash Brothers, man. I think a long time ago there was this petition to have Hammer Bro be in Super Smash Brothers Brawl, I believe. And then he ended up not making the cut, but being an assist trophy. I think the first assist trophy revealed, actually, which is so cool because that is actually the recognition that I think this guy deserves. But I want him to be playable because what cool things can you do with a hammer, or maybe 2 hammers, kind of cool flips, stuff like that, kind of have some cool shell moves. But anyway, he's not playable here, he's an enemy. And Yellow Toad goes on to say, "Danger lies around every corner. Hiya!" So this is kind of like the fighter Toad, but maybe he could just be this fired up because it's the Coliseum and everything's about fighting. Mario is sneakily dodging this Hammer Brother. He's like, "Well, I ain't gonna get none of that." And the Hammer Brother is like, "Well, what just happened? Question mark. I don't know." So this is kind of like a low intelligence version of Metal Gear Solid. And I think it's so funny that the Hammer Brother immediately just gives up. And he's like, "Well, there was a guy here like 2 seconds ago. I guess he's just gone. I'm just gonna chill on this question mark block for the rest of my life." So, as you guys know, who've seen the previous analysis, Mario now actually sidles along the wall and can do all sorts of cool tricks. There's fuzzies, but we skip over that part in this trailer because we see the big bone. We see a big bone, and Yellow Toad actually says, "Who found the important thing?" Yellow Squad. He's like, "Man, we did this. My guys." So, there's a big bone. A bone? Really? You call that important? That's what the Red Toad says. Well, just you watch, Red Toad. Just you watch, Rescue Red, because we are going to prove you wrong. It's not just a bone, and it is very important. So we switch to the Coliseum, and this is of course one of my favorite parts of the game so far. It's this giant Coliseum with everyone, watching, and there's no friends of Mario. It's just Huey and Mario and all the enemies in the world. There's a big paint star in the distance, and these enemies pop out of the ground, and it's only mayhem. And Mario's like, oh, darn it. These guys are coming for me, and I'm just one guy with a paint can that doesn't do anything. And what can I do? So Yellow Toad goes on to say, shut your face, the Battle Royale is about to begin. So we're going to get into the Battle Royale. This is a part in the game, in the Coliseum, where you fight multiple enemies and you get rewards. One of these rewards is this. We can see a Power Star, or a Superstar. I think there's a difference. Power Stars, you collect them in 3D Mario games, and they are like the big reward. And a Superstar is basically a star you collect and you get super. I think they used to be called Starman, right? Starman. I think I have some Mario Collector's cards, like a card game, and it was called Starman on that thing. It also looked kind of different. The eyes look like Mickey Mouse's eyes. Anyway, yeah, we see Mario has found this Power Star. I think it's subtly winking at Mario. How cool is that? So Mario jumps up, flies around, and he has collected the Power Star, and now he glows in the colors of the rainbow. Now, I don't really like either the song that plays, but I also don't really like Mario changing in all these different colors. I think the Power Star was introduced to make Mario blink, and then suddenly they changed it to being Rainbow Mario at one point. I think it was like close to being Mario Galaxy or something like that. And now ever since, Mario's just been Rainbow Mario whenever he grabs a star. I don't like it. I think it looks silly. I think it looks cheap also. I think having Mario blink with a gold kind of glow to him already looks pretty cool, but having him glow in all colors of the rainbow kind of looks cheaply made. And now Yellow goes on to say, but no one can stop the likes of my protege, Mario. And this, I think, is a really cool line because they actually mention that they don't really solve the big problems Mario does, and he's actually calling him his protege. So Mario is like a ninja toad in training, so maybe Mario will end up looking like a toad. Has anyone ever shopped Mario with a toad hat on his head? If anyone has ever done that, please send me a picture of this because I would love to see it. And I love the enemies are all so scared. I actually love that they're scared, I think they should introduce that in more Mario games where if you trigger the Superstar and you run around, the enemies look scared on their faces. Sometimes they run away, but they never look scared. And look at those Goombas, man. The Goombas are just scared of their life. And they should be because Mario corners them like the smart guy he is. They try and get away. And then, of course, he runs into them at incredible speed. And there we go. We got our first hits in. The enemies fly all over the place. And there is coins as a reward. And then Blue actually pops in to say, an invincibility star? Isn't that against the rules? And I think this is pretty cool. Blue, yeah, talk about being against the rules, man. You couldn't even get on the mountain. That's against the rules, bro. You just gotta stand with your buddies. But no, you gotta whine about our invincibility star. So it's not even called star with a capital S, which is weird. Just call it by its name. I want to know what it's called, guys. So Mario is collecting a couple of cards and a ton of coins, which looks really amazing. He's just going to town on these bad guys. I wonder if you can actually have the power and the time enough to actually defeat every single enemy and that it just be the end and it just be boss battle. But now Yellow Toad goes on to say, effective use of items is just part of the challenge. And that is, of course, probably a wink to Super Smash Bros. Because very famously, Masahiro Sakurai has been criticized on the use of items in the competitive scene. He always wants to have items in the game because he thinks that's part of, the fun party strategy of the game. It can be random, it can be fun. That is what Smash Bros. Is. But, of course, the competitive scene is all about that not random stuff and balanced tier lists. Also, Mario's the best character in Smash. But no, I do think that it's a kind of a wink to say it's just part of the challenge, Items belong there. And I think playing with items every once in a while is pretty fine. But do it on a Final Destination Omega stage or you're a chump. You're going to be a chump? Just be a chump. Anyway, Mario collects paint all over the place. He defeats enemies. Now, this is a moment we've seen before. These carriages all jump out of a cage, and they have chain chomps attached to them. And here's one with a very cool hammer, bro. We love this guy. And a sniff it. And then Yellow Toad actually says, and now Mario faces off against the champion in a final battle. This sounds so cool. And here we have Iggy being so cool. He jumps in slow motion and he, stops in midair for some reason. He's probably just finishing being in a feature film and having had the girl, and then you freeze frame in the air. Anyway, Mario is, surrounded by these carriages. They circle him. It looks scary. And then Yellow Toad goes on to say, but the cheap chump cheats the challenge with chain chomp chariots. Wow, I actually did that in one take. That's pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, they circle Mario. Iggy is mean. He's just laughing at Mario. But I think that, of course, the Yellow Toad has the rad word skills, and Mario has now actually achieved that bone power-up in the game. And what does this bone power-up do? We've seen it before. Mario, just use it. He throws the bone, bam, lands behind the enemies, and then Yellow goes on to say, but Mario came prepared. He drops the bone on him. He drops the ball. No, he drops the bone. He drops the chain chomp because that is the female cutie chain chomp rolling all over. I think it's just so cool that the chain chomp doesn't bite. Just rolls. He just rolls and grabs the bone. It's the cutest thing ever. I want to have my own chain chomp. Where can I buy one? And I think it's cool that it's multi-layered. It is also an obstacle in the game itself. There has been some footage where Mario is dodging this exact chain chomp. So is that maybe where you get the card to unlock this character? I like that. I think there was a rumor that in the official sticker star for 3DS, there was going to be a chain chomp partner in the game. I would have loved to see that because chain chomps are cool characters. They're like dogs, but they're like little balls with teeth. And that's actually what dogs are. They're kind of like little balls with teeth. But this one has a little cute bow on his head. And then Purple shows up. Just Purple shows up and he says, a giant chain chomp? With no capital letters, Nintendo. Just add capital letters to your names. If you're naming characters, add capital letters. I'm weird for pointing this out, but I feel offended. I feel literally offended. Like with literal skills in literature. Doesn't that seem a little unfair? Mario is cheating all over the place. And then, of course, Yellow comes in and says, nah, man, self-defense. It's the law. So Yellow is surely protecting his protege Mario. And we see that Iggy, yeah, he's gotten a big hit. He's probably defeated. And he explodes. And yeah, that's where he's flying away. He's flying off. Hey-ya! Did you see that? Yellow says. And of course, we did see that. Yeah, you defeated the guy. Mario, you won. And then Red comes in and says, man, you're weird. You're kind of strange, man. Mario celebrates. There's Huey being all yellow, which means, the yellow paint for Huey usually means he's very, very happy. The black paint means neutral, and the red paint means I am angry. Are there different colors? I don't know. I don't have all the answers. I just have some speculation and some awesome, funny jokes. Anyway, Yellow goes on to say, the new champion is Mario. I can do that again. The new champion is Mario. Anyway, yeah, the crowd goes wild, which I think is really weird because they're all enemies. They could be like, boo. But that'd feel weird for the kids playing the game. They'd be like, did I do it wrong? Did I have to fight the boss? Did I have to lose? Did I have to lose to make the guys happy? So the guys are happy because Mario won. It's weird. Might makes right. Only the strong survive. So I like the little touch that Yellow Toad is actually a very cool, awesome little guy who is just like a karate master or something like that. And then Yellow goes on to say, I mean, just look at Yellow Squad surviving. So they just want to like push a joke in the end. Oh, you're just going to push a joke in the end, okay. So this big turnip out of a pipe, Mario is actually on the end of it, which I think is really, really cute. And then Blue says, looks like Mario's doing the heavy lifting though, because Mario is literally like pulling the toad, so he's the strongest guy. Kind of reminds me of the Mario Party 1 minigame, right? Mario Party, everyone? No? You don't remember it? I did a video on that, Mario Party 1 for the Nintendo 64. You should check it out. It's called Nostalgia Goggles. We're going to revisit that series very soon. Nostalgia Goggles is a show where I talk about games that I remember fondly and I go back to play them after a long time and I play them to see if they hold up and if they're as awesome as they were in my memories. Anyway, looks like Mario's doing the heavy lifting. Oh man. And then the turnip is kind of crushing toads left and right, so maybe Mario is not doing such a great job at all. But the toads seem happy, and then Yellow says, Green Squad's up next time. You could probably skip that video. I like it. I like that little touch at the end. You know, Yellow is just, you know, he's a savage. He's just wrecking Green. Anyway, yeah, we get to the screen that says next time, episode 5, Illusion. And if I read Illusion, I always think of one game in particular. I think of Super Mario World. As some of you guys know, in Super Mario World you had different worlds, and one of those worlds was the Forest of Illusion, which is loosely based on an area in the Zelda games, you know, the Lost Woods. But Illusion always makes me think of the Forest of Illusion because that was such an awesome part in one of the best Mario games of all time. I don't think it's as good as Mario 64, but it's really good. I think I've named my 3 favorite games of all time in this video today. Scroll back if you haven't heard them, because it's important that you know that I've set them in this video. Anyway, yeah, it makes me think of Illusion, it makes me think of the Forest of Illusion, and then the text says Showtime in the Green Woods. So I just connect those 2 things in my head. Illusion, woods, green woods, forest. Illusion, Forest of Illusion, Forest of Illusion. Are they going to revisit the Forest of Illusion in Super Paper Mario Color Splash Year Door? I don't know. I really hope so. I don't think so. This is the end of the video. I hope you guys like what we do. We are Blocked Content. We analyze the things because no one else is analyzing the things. I like you guys. Don't forget to subscribe because I need friends. Bye.